you guys, you know I love to talk to you about some motivational stuff, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you specifically about how I beat some of the biggest challenges I've faced in my entire life. I'm going to go through and give you my real life experiences and tell you exactly what I did to make those things better every single day. And I promise you that if you follow those steps, you're going to find your life change in ways you never thought possible. So if you do have any questions, of course, as we go through the video today, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask me about those. You can comment them below or call or text me anytime. I'm happy to talk to you. And if you want a private conversation, absolutely. I'm certainly glad to help you any way that I can. Remember, the first thing to do a lot of times when you do have challenges is reach out to somebody and maybe get some help or direction in what's more realistic or more objective way to move forward. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you find that it gives you some great valuable information, not only about me, my history, and why I'm doing what it is that I'm doing and sharing what I have learned with you guys, but I hope it also gives you some great tools to live a much better life for yourself. So check it out. Hey you guys, today I want to talk to you about a very serious issue, one that I've had a lot of experience with. It's struggling and having depression and feeling down and feeling like, maybe it just can't get any better. But there is some hope, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about it because I've had some significant downturns in my life. We call them peak valleys, crashes, bad things that have happened to you. When I was much younger, in my 30s, my first partner, his brother murdered his girlfriend and killed himself, and then my partner killed himself not too much longer after that. I had a huge falling out with my family. My parents divorced. It was a really, really hard time. I mean, there were years I was just totally depressed, almost paralyzed, and could not move forward. Over the years, I've had some ups and downs, and it wasn't until I really started learning some of these techniques that I'm going to be telling you about in the video today that I really figured out the best way to get out of them. And that's one of the reasons that I do the talking and the speaking to folks in the videos about motivation and success, because I want to prove to you, number one, it can be done. I'm going to tell you, back in the early 2000s, I was severely addicted to some very serious drugs. My life had spun out of control. My partner had died. My parents were splitting up. It was just almost insurmountable. You would think that that would pretty much have been the end for me. And I think a lot of people did. And then one day, I started following, when I decided to stop doing drugs, that was probably the most important thing. And for some reason, I was able to stop just like that. I don't highly recommend that because apparently it's not typically very successful. I do recommend that you get help if you do have some drug issues, because, having other people there being supportive, and looking back, for me, it would have been great if I'd had people that were there, kind of supporting me to rebound. Although I did make it, luckily, by the grace of God, somehow. And I worked really, really hard over the years, but there have been times when I've been really, really depressed. I mean, I recently went through a terrible breakup with my partner of 5 years. Both of us it was just very, very bad. My father got very, very sick, almost died in the hospital. And then I got sick myself and lost like 20 pounds in 2.5 weeks. And it was really important, especially during this last downturn. I noticed this last one did not last me as long as some of the other ones. Some of the others spanned for years. This one, fortunately, I've rebounded from really quickly. And I'm gonna tell you, the reason that I have, it's very, very specific, and I can tell you specifically, because when I don't do them, I fall off. I start to get back into that depressed, negative mindset. And it's critically important that you do it every day. I can't even begin to explain it, but how important these things are if you want to get yourself out of that hole and bring yourself back to a better place. No matter what your situation is, what you're looking at, there's always a better day if you go out there and look for it. And the first thing that I do every day is I start with my gratitudes. I have a notebook that I write my gratitudes, and I make sure I fill the whole page. Now, at first it was like, okay, if I can do like 3 or 4, okay, I'm good. Now I fill the whole page every single day. And then I also journal, and I make sure that I write at least one page. Usually I write one both in my notebook, then also to my therapist, which brings me to the next one, which is therapy. I go to betterhelp.com, and I'm gonna tell you, it has been immeasurably valuable to have someone who is a professional in that arena really be able to help guide you and find you the right thing. So I highly recommend therapy with a qualified therapist. The thing that I'll say about therapy is that sometimes it's the first person that you choose is maybe not the one for you. So if you don't feel right with the person, please choose somebody else. Choose somebody that you feel comfortable with, that you feel like you will talk to and open up with. Exercise is also critically important. I do it every single day. The generation of dopamine and the positive chemicals caused by exercise really will override those negative thoughts, especially if you started on that base of gratitude and written all those things out. Another thing that I typically do in the mornings is I listen to something spiritual, something like a prayer podcast or something like that. Then I step over to something motivational. I love Steve Harvey. I love Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar. Really, all of those guys are just fantastic. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I love him. But they're really, really fantastic. So combining those things and starting your day off with that powerful morning in the positive direction really does change the entire trajectory of your day. And if you do this consecutively, day after day after day after day, it will change the trajectory of your entire life. I'm a living example of this. I have been literally at the very, very bottom. Could not get much worse than where I was at. And I've been able to rise up through the ranks and become one of the top salespeople in Atlanta's Midtown, and been able to help and serve so many folks and help them achieve their life dreams. It's really kind of spectacular. Number one, I feel like I really probably shouldn't be here. And number two, it's been so wonderful to change the journey from bad to being able to do all of these great things and share in the lives of so many wonderful people. So what I'm telling you today is, yes, life can be really, really difficult. You can get all kinds of crap thrown at you. And sometimes it feels like you just want to lay down and die. I get it. But keep those practices up. Those will make a difference in your life more than you can ever possibly imagine. And be sure that you do them every day, because I can tell you, if you start falling off those days of doing them, especially in the beginning, you'll fall completely off. Make sure you do the homework. If you do that stuff, the spiritual podcast, the motivational podcast, writing those gratitudes in the notebook, writing your journal entry in your notebook. Planning your day is also a really good one, making sure that it's full and you don't have any places to kind of sit down and be low. And then, of course, you must do that exercise. Starting your day, especially with all of those things, really does propel your day to be much better than it could possibly be if you just kind of got up and went going. I find that it helps to sort of rebound and push away those negatives when they come at you, if you've done those things in the morning. And if you haven't done those things, oh yeah, negatives, come on in, baby. I got you. Come on in, sit in here with the others, and we'll just have a big old negative party. And that is exactly what happens. You've probably seen that in your own life at one point or another. So make sure you start your day on that positive note and do that exercise. Even if it's just, walking around the block in your neighborhood, something to get your blood flowing is absolutely fantastic. So I hope these are some great tips to help you jump out of those valleys and getting back onto your next peak, because I want to see every one of you on your peaks every single day. So what did you think? Was it some helpful information? Did it give you some good insights and tools that maybe can help you in your future journey? Remember, let's stay out of those valleys and let's get to those peaks. I'd love to hear about those too. So number one, if you have any questions about the video or need any advice, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. But also, I'd love to hear about your success. If you try this out for let's say 30 days and you find it does make a tremendous difference, I'd love for you to comment that below the video so other viewers can see it and realize that it is something that might be able to help them too. The more people we help around this world, the better place it will be. And I hope you will consider sharing this video with a friend to do just that. We'd like to help as many folks as possible, so you're a great part of that. Thank you again so much for tuning into the video today. I really do appreciate you. And if you did like this video, I know you're gonna love the next one that pops up on the screen.